Dorm room gone wild. Chris Stevens was the quintessential college sophomore, quiet, reserved, and happiest when surrounded by books. At 5 feet 7 inches, with a slim build, Chris was openly gay and wore his pride with rainbow pens clipped to his shirt pocket. He had never been one for the social scene, preferring the solitude of the library. This semester, however, was about to bring an unexpected twist when he found himself sharing a dorm room with Beneto Garcia. Beneto was everything Chris wasn't. At 6 feet 3 inches, he was a muscular hockey player from Texas with a confident, easygoing charm that drew people in. He had a girlfriend, Megan, and was popular on campus. On the surface, they seemed like an odd pairing for roommates, but they quickly fell into a comfortable routine. Beneto was friendly and respectful, and Chris appreciated the lack of drama. One day, Chris returned to their room earlier than expected, planning to relax after a long day of classes. When he opened the door, he found Beneto changing clothes, his back turned to Chris. Beneto looked over his shoulder and, seeing Chris's startled expression, quickly pulled on his shirt, laughing it off. "Sorry about that, man. Didn't hear you come in," Beneto said casually, but Chris couldn't shake the image from his mind. It wasn't that he hadn't seen other guys shirtless before, but something about Beneto made his heart race. As the days went by, Chris noticed Beneto seemed more comfortable around him, often chatting with him while getting dressed or after returning from the gym. Their conversation started to move beyond the casual, and Chris found himself enjoying Beneto's company more than he'd expected. Despite Beneto's confident exterior, Chris saw glimpses of a deeper, more thoughtful side of him. One evening, while Chris was reading in bed, Beneto came back from practice and flopped down on his own bed. "You know," Beneto began, his tone more serious than usual, "I've been thinking a lot lately." Chris looked up from his book, curious. "About what?" Beneto hesitated, then sat up, meeting Chris's eyes. "About how different things are when I'm around you. It's like, I can be myself, you know. I don't have to put on a show." Chris's heart skipped a beat. "I feel the same way," he admitted softly, not sure where this was going. Beneto sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I've never felt this way around anyone before. It's confusing, but, I like being around you, Chris. A lot." Chris blinked, taken aback. Was Beneto implying what he thought he was? Before he could ask, Beneto continued. "I broke up with Megan today," he said, almost as an afterthought. Chris sat up straighter, shocked. "What? Why?" Beneto shrugged, though his eyes held a depth of emotion. "I couldn't stop thinking about you. It's not fair to her, and I needed to figure out what this means." Chris was speechless. He had never expected Beneto to have feelings for him, especially not when he'd been in a committed relationship. "Beneto, I don't want to be the reason you—" "You're not," Beneto interrupted, his voice firm. "This is something I had to do. For myself. I've been trying to ignore it, but I can't anymore. I think, I'm starting to realize that I'm into you, Chris." Chris's mind raced. He had admired Beneto from afar, thinking their differences would keep them from ever being close. But now, the hockey player was sitting in front of him, confessing something Chris never imagined he'd hear. They talked late into the night, sharing their thoughts and feelings, trying to make sense of the sudden shift in their relationship. Beneto admitted he was scared and confused but also excited by the prospect of exploring these new emotions. In the following weeks, their friendship deepened into something more. They took their time, respecting each other's boundaries and figuring out what this new dynamic meant for them. Beneto's intense passion and Chris's quiet affection complemented each other in ways they hadn't anticipated. Though the path ahead was uncertain, both Chris and Beneto were committed to figuring it out together, trusting that whatever challenges they faced, they could overcome them with the support and understanding they had found in each other.